Here's a great little tip for adding small bits of snow into your wintry animal drawings or landscapes. Usually if I'm drawing larger areas of snow, I might draw that in as I go, but because the specks that I wanted in this drawing were tiny, I wanted to add those in at the end of the drawing rather than create them as I went along. I could have used a craft knife or a slice tool to remove bits of the pencil to create the snow, but that would have actually been quite time consuming and the pattern created may not have been as random as I wanted. I could have used a kneadable eraser to dab out some of the snow. I would have done this if I wanted larger bits of snow added, but I wouldn't have been able to get the bits of snow small enough for this drawing. I could have used a watercolour pencil, dipped into a bit of water and dab that onto the areas to create the snow. And that can be a really useful way to add snow into watercolour paintings. But I've drawn this portrait with oil or wax-based colour pencils like Faber-Castell Polychromos or Caran d'Ache Luminance or Pablo pencils. As oil or wax and water don't mix, it's likely that the watercolour pencil would come off over time once dry and it wouldn't be archival. Instead, here's a simple and quick way to add tiny specks of snow into your drawing. Take a pencil and a piece of low tack masking tape. Make sure that the tape is low tack. You can always remove more of the tackiness on the back of your hand or on your clothes before you start. Wrap the tape around the end of the pencil with the sticky side on the outside and wrap it far enough up the pencil that it comes up to where you'd normally hold the pencil so that you can hold on to the tape as well as the pencil. Once it's wrapped, fold the tape over and shape it into a rounded end. You can then use the sticky end of the pencil to dab onto the drawing and lift off pigment in a random pattern to create the snow. I'd suggest testing it on a scrap piece of paper first to make sure that you're happy with the texture that it's creating before using it on your drawing. The tape will pick up pigment as it goes and it will lose stickiness, but that's good because it means that there will be areas where more pigment is lifted off the paper and areas where less is lifted off because the tape isn't quite as sticky, and that will help with the random pattern. Eventually the tape will be covered in pigment and it won't pick up anymore, but you can always fold over the end of the tape again, reshape it and go again. Once you're happy that you have enough snow texture in the drawing, take a very light pencil, something like a white pencil, a very pale pink pencil, a very pale blue pencil, depending on the colours that you've got in your portrait, and smooth out some of the edges of the bits of snow. You won't need to smooth out everything, perhaps just some of the larger bits. Keep smoothing until you're happy that the bits of snow look like they're part of the drawing rather than just erased pigment sitting on top of the project. And that's it, a really simple way to add tiny bits of snow detail into your colour pencil work. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. If you want to see more tips like this, hit the like, subscribe and notifications button. I add new videos every week. If you want to draw the complete dog, you'll find the full step-by-step tutorial over on my website or on Patreon, and I'll leave links to those in the description. If you've got a tip for creating snow, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how you create bits of snow on your own projects. If you've got any questions about the video, add those in the comments too. Okay, thanks for watching. Happy drawing, and I'll see you next time.